What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000, and we hope you guys will help us get there. Alright, so today we're going to do a video over Daenerys Targaryen. Now, there was a lot of fans at the ending, and rightfully so, were upset by her death. They felt like her character was being misused towards the end of the series, and that her just losing her mind and burning King's Landing to the ground was out of character for who she was. A lot of fans believe she's a benevolent character. Of course, there's other fans that believe, she was malevolent, that she was kind of bordering on, losing her mind, the Targaryen way, basically. But for those that do truly love Daenerys Targaryen, this is actually a video for them. This is, if there was a season 9, would Daenerys Targaryen have maybe possibly been resurrected? Now there was a Screen Rant article that kind of outlined how maybe some of this was happening. I really thought it was a really interesting topic, where maybe being resurrected by Drogon taking her body to a red priestess, maybe in Volantis, and her being resurrected by the God of Light. That would have kind of been really interesting take on it. R'hllor was the God of Light, is spoken, little things about him are spoken throughout the series. Of course, bringing back of Jon Snow. It would have been kind of interesting to have seen Daenerys Targaryen go down the exact same road. I personally would have loved this to have happened. Not because I'm a huge Daenerys Targaryen fan. I personally didn't have too much of a problem with the ending of it. Did I think maybe the writing was poor at the end? Yes, I did. But, I kind of saw a little bit of writing on the wall as the way they were wanting to go with her. Not necessarily the way George R.R. Martin was wanting her character to go, but the way D&D was wanting her character to go. They were kind of setting up the madness. I don't believe that it was just completely and totally out of nowhere, like a lot of people believe. But that said, it's interesting to know, or just kind of imagine what would have happened if there would have been a season 9, if Drogon would have maybe brought her to a red priestess, and maybe her body, they were able to bring her back. Maybe with, it says that there was a little piece of someone after they've died. When they come back, they lose a little piece of themselves. Would that have maybe have made her into, a little bit towards the crazier side, or would that have maybe would it have taken away that aspect of her, that Targaryen aspect of her that maybe leads to that? Maybe would it be the girl that we first saw back in season 1, the frightened girl that really wanted to do great things for the world, that really didn't see herself as the savior, but saw herself as maybe a figure that could do what little bit of good that she could in this world, under really bad situations. I loved that. In the earlier seasons, I loved that aspect of Daenerys Targaryen. I didn't so much enjoy once she became queen. I kind of felt like she was kind of getting a little bit too much of a big head on her shoulders. She started believing in all the talk that her brother had been speaking to her for all those years of how, she was rightful heir and that people should accept her. And then when the people didn't necessarily accept her, well, she kind of, didn't take too well to it. Let's just put it that way. I didn't really enjoy her treatment of Tyrion as well, even though you can make a case the treatment was fair, because Tyrion did screw up a lot. Again, that's poor writing again. Poor writing. I don't know why that had to happen in this show. But it would have been interesting if maybe, I don't know, I would go down a route where maybe she forgets who she was and she has to wander around. And she's got this dragon and she has to, try to find herself, reclaim who she is, and maybe get a second chance at life. I wouldn't necessarily enjoy the aspect of maybe her reuniting with Jon Snow in some form or fashion, which I could maybe see. That would have been an interesting take on it, and maybe they could have got the love that both of them kind of deserved, and it would have been. I think that would have been just a pleasant way to have ended it. I get it; they were wanting to go for the bittersweet moment. To me and to a lot of other fans, it was just bitter. It wasn't bittersweet in the least bit. I kind of felt towards the end of it, I kind of felt like we had been kind of screwed over by Bran. I kind of felt like if there was an evil villain to this series, it was Bran. Because Bran knew what was going to happen and he allowed it to happen that way. He knew what Daenerys was going to do, but he didn't stop her. You can make that case, and I would, that what Daenerys did could have easily been prevented if Bran would have tried to prevent it. But at the end game, it's all about the Game of Thrones, and Bran got to be king, and, of course, she died. I look at that more as a villainous aspect of Bran more than I do of her in that regard. I would have loved for a redemption arc for Daenerys after what she did in King's Landing. I would have loved to maybe seen a part of her where even if she remembered who she was, to live in regret of the mistakes she had made and of the that she had the people she had murdered there, and of what she lost in the end because of it. Her choices ended up leading to her not getting to be on the throne, and to her not being able to be with Jon Snow. So overall, I think this would be a really interesting take on it. I really wish they would do this. I tell you, if there was a spinoff that I could really get behind, it would be a Daenerys Targaryen spinoff, where that, we don't know much about dragons. This whole world of magic, ice and fire, all of that good stuff. We still don't really have a good clue about it. It would be interesting if maybe there's a connection between R'hllor and the dragons. And, there was this aspect of at the end of the series finale where they talk about the dragons actually are smarter than what we think they are. So maybe they knew their origin. I would have liked to known where Drogon actually carried the body of Daenerys. I think that would have been an interesting way to have ended the series, instead of watching Jon Snow go off into wildling country. I would have enjoyed more of finding out where Drogon took the body, and maybe that could have been something that they could have gone from and then built upon. I think that would be a good way of giving Game of Thrones a redemption arc. Not just the character of Daenerys Targaryen, but Game of Thrones as a whole. Because I think a lot of Daenerys fans really feel screwed over. And there was a lot of Daenerys fans. Just go to any fan page on here, put up a negative comment about Daenerys Targaryen, you're going to be attacked quickly. So when it comes to that, I feel like Game of Thrones, if there's anybody that needs a redemption arc, it's definitely just Game of Thrones the show. This would be a good way. Fans would completely and totally forget the terrible ending in Game of Thrones if they had a spinoff where Daenerys somehow lived. I really do believe that. I really think that would be a good way to bring fans back to the series. I'm excited about House of the Dragon, and I know there's possible other spinoffs that are on their way. But I would really, really enjoy this as a spinoff more than I would House of the Dragon. I'm tired of seeing things like House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones where we already kind of know where a lot of the characters are going to go, the endings of them. I would love to know. I'd love to see a Daenerys Targaryen story where I didn't know where it was going to go. I would really enjoy that. Because for the most part of it, of her story, we knew the struggles that she was going to endure and how she would handle them. It wasn't until the very end that, of course, she burned King's Landing, that we got a good sense of, okay, this was something that was surprising to us about her. So, overall, guys, let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all think this would be a great spinoff. I personally would be behind this 110%. If this would happen, I would, out of all the spinoffs that they could make, I think this would probably be the better one. I guess you could make a Ned Stark one, showing the battle of the Trident and all that other kind of stuff. That would be interesting. But I just feel like Daenerys Targaryen one would actually be the redemption arc that Game of Thrones needs. But as always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And thanks for watching, guys.